If you're Adam for the day tomorrow, you could change one thing about the league.
Well, I'll tell you selfishly what's really fucking stupid.
Say it.
Is that, first of all, these aprons are fucking with the game. You're telling me that you are going to, and that's on our side. They know exactly who they are that did it. Like, Cam, you're not a part of that, are you?
No, I mean, no, not part of that. No.
If you were, I'd sit here and tell you to your face.
No, I was not part of that.
We did it.
And selfishly, like for me, like you're telling me that Oklahoma City can't keep those three guys together because of these aprons? That's bullshit. So you're telling me that Sam Presti, the greatest, all the things that he's done is handcuffed because of these fucking aprons?
Yes. That's what we're saying.
So for drafting well and building a team in the greatest of ways, you're gonna like you can't keep teams together. They're unbelievable. They are a machine. We've already played them a couple times here. They're unbelievable, and like they all celebrate each other. They're all a cohesive unit. You can tell like they had a number of guys out against us, and they're coming in, and their player development is crazy. You can tell they have like established a sense of community and who they are. The level that it is inspirational. I know it sounds like I'm fucking, what are they going to say, glazing them, like sucking them off, whatever. But the level that they sprint back on defense up 30, I'm like, look at these guys. I mean, they want it. I'm not saying other teams don't, but they definitely have something special there that I keep talking about teams being a machine. Like they have something special there in the fact that that team can't stay together because of these rules being implemented, and teams are,
especially when it's guys they drafted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. These guys got drafted. These are homegrown guys. Yeah. They've done the work. They did the due diligence to draft these guys. Oh, we're gonna go get this guy. I mean, obviously, like Chet was an obvious pick, but Shea obviously was, within the trade with Paul George, but like, Chet was, like I said, easy, but like, oh, we're gonna go get this kid from Santa Clara, and he's gonna end up being like all these guys that they ended up going to get too, and building these rosters out, and Lou Dort and Caruso and everybody throughout their lineup.
Did you know?
And I'll say this, my last thing is that like, you selfishly being like I'm slightly over the vet minimum now, but like coming back and that keeps going up, it's going to affect the cap even more. Whereas like it didn't do that before. So teams aren't allowed to, they are allowed to, but it's going to hit their cap worse than it previously had signing a veteran. Yeah. And I think veterans matter. I'm biased, obviously, sitting here and saying that, but within a locker room, I think
I double down and agree. Yeah. Wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. No, I think players would.
They come on the show every week and say that.
Yeah.
A different person says that every week.
I think you look at, those certain teams around the league, I think people can figure it out, that you can tell that the lack of leadership is there, and building a team identity and building a culture. I think that you need vets. And for me, I know firsthand, like, and this is not shitting on anybody, that I came into the league my first 3 to 5, 6 years before I left and went to Cleveland, is that, I didn't have a great vet or somebody that was, a high, super high achiever or all-star or guy that was Hall of Famer or won at the highest level, that was able to come in and show me the way, show me how to be a pro. So when I got to Cleveland, I had terrible habits. I tell people about it all the time. Like, I had terrible habits. I didn't know what it meant to sacrifice. I was the man, and I came in and I ended up being, the third guy, and how am I going to navigate that, and what should be my my disposition on, where I stand, if I need to look in the mirror and actually understand where I'm at. I think that my adjustment period and, my application period in terms of fitting with that team would have been a lot faster. And what would that have done for us? So I do think veterans matter for a whole slew of reasons. So again, the aprons are unfortunate in that way. Now, are people going to sit here and say he's a fucking idiot? He didn't know. I don't care. I don't know. But, in terms of that, I don't know.
I think the other thing, to the point earlier about your guys, the series with the Warriors, we're seeing this in other sports as well. From a pure rating standpoint, dynasties are good for ratings. Dynasties are good for buzz. Teams going back to the finals year after year are good for buzz. We're going to see this year with the NFL. We talked about this before. Chiefs not being in the playoffs is not going to be a good thing for the NFL ratings.
Right.
The NFL is the NFL. It's probably going to be, they'll probably be fine. They'll figure something else out. But like the Chiefs being there every year is the Dodgers being in the World Series every year is good for baseball.
Yeah.
The Warriors playing the Cavs, maybe not every year, is a good thing for the NBA. And so you want these teams.
Sure. Popcorn is ready.
You want these teams to have the ability, especially to your point, when they're drafting these guys, they're not, and it isn't there is still a cap. So it's not just like, oh, the Lakers can go sign whoever they want and they're going to blow out the small markets. You want the ability to have the Thunder in the finals 4 or 5 years in a row.
Obviously, you had the Lakers, you had Boston. I wouldn't put Houston in there, but then you have the Bulls, then you have the Lakers, then you have San Antonio, then you have Lakers and Boston again. Let's say that those were dynasty, but Kobe won 2 more, and then Spurs bleed all the way through the 2010s. Miami won a couple, but then it's like you have the dynasty of obviously Golden State, but now you have like Toronto and Milwaukee and obviously Oklahoma City. I'm missing a couple in there, of course.
Boston,
LA, Boston, exactly. Denver. So it's like been a different team every Denver, of course, to beat us. But like a different team every year. And I like that there's some parity, of course, but now we're going to see the other side like of those aprons and how they're going to start affecting teams like effective immediately. Like now you're going to start seeing that, which is, I think, a shame. I think it's too bad. And that's somebody saying like, I'm leaning into the dynasty type of feel towards it, but you can't, especially for drafting well, you can't hit somebody over the head and fault them for that. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
I like that conversation right there. And I had the same conversation about OKC, like the Cap Reaper's coming.
Yeah. The Cap Reaper.
The Cap Reaper's coming. They can't avoid it. They got guys that are going to need to be paid, and they got guys whose money's going to start kicking in.
Yeah.
And it's going to have huge consequences on their roster.
Yeah.
And we've talked about them on the show a lot, especially last year. And I don't really want to get to talking about them anymore. We don't see them for a couple months, but like you said, it's a different
situation now.
It is completely different, but they shouldn't be punished for doing everything the right way. Like that, everything you mentioned just points to, we talked about it last year. I think the word we used was like drinking the Kool-Aid. Like they're just bought in to the maximum extent with a lot of talent, and it shows how far I can take it.
Yeah.
So like, that's what you want the NBA
to be. They suck at partying.
It's just probably okay.
Yeah, I mean, it works for them.
Maybe
I'm just gonna go home and play video games, and I can't open champagne, and like, it's cool. Okay. It's cool. Okay. I'm like, hey, it works for them.
But yeah, I mean, that's everything that you want programs to be, and that makes for good basketball, and it makes for stuff people want to watch. So, like you said, it's a little counterintuitive.
Yeah, and I know everything about the CBA and where it stands and the aprons? No. Of course not, but I do know that they haven't played the best brand of basketball this year, but even like look at Cleveland. Like somebody's gonna have to go. Yeah. It's like I like it. The Cap Reaper, like it's coming. And it's gonna be a damn shame to see some of these teams lose guys that and be in a space where they're gonna have to choose and who they're gonna have to pick. It's weird. It's a weird space to be in.
It's a weird thing in the locker room. It's like everyone knows it,
right?
It's not a secret.
And we better enjoy this while we can because it's going to be gone in a couple of years once we get to our second contracts. Like, of course they got it, but they get 300 million, 250 million, 260 million. Like,
it's not much you can do outside of that.
No, and then you're going to have to get like, what do you do with Hardenstein? What do you do with Dort? What do you do with like all these guys?
And Caruso's on the books. He's 4-year extended.
Right.
Dort still has 2 left, maybe 1 left after this, I believe. But then Wallace is going to come up if AJ Mitchell keeps playing the way he's playing. You still got Wiggins, you still got Joe. They're not on minimums; they're on mid-level area.
Right, and they add so much to everything that they're doing, and they're just like, nope, we got to go. We got to get rid of you.